Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. We are officially 20 episodes away from 200. This is the last two. This is the end of the 20s. Yep. After this week, we go down to the 10s. Starting next episode. And man, oh man, 20 more weeks, guys. 20 more weeks.
Can you believe that?
It's coming, and it's coming fast. And I'm eagerly awaiting with big news in hand at some point. Big news not revealed just yet. Comic books we will be reviewing are from the week of April 10th, 2013. I always look at him because he's got the dates down. I just review the book.
April 3rd, so 7 days that's the 10th. I don't like math, so just continue.
I love how he says he doesn't like math, but he just did it. So we've got a few independent companies, a lot of Marvel, and a lot of DC, so let's waste no time. Let me think of news. Was there any news worth... Oh yeah, the Marvel solicitations for July are out. We will be talking about that on the live show this Tuesday. However, one book, I know you guys know I like Wolverine, but there is one book I will not get that's in that July solicitation, and that is the Iron or the Adamantium Chef one. We'll talk more about that on the live show, but there's just a lot of stuff that will be coming out in July, and that's definitely one of the books I will not be getting, annual or not. So, we've talked about it on Comics Point 3. We talked about it
Dark Avenger Inc.
on Dark Avenger Inc. You and Kev talked about it. Now it's my turn to review Mega Man, issue 24, Mega Man Sonic Worlds Collide, part 1 of 12. This is going all the way until the end of summer. This series starts now in spring and it ends on the precipice, the beginning of fall. And it's like, it's going to take that long. And it starts in the future, sort of, with Mega Man fighting Sonic. And you got Dr. Eggman and Dr. Wily watching on and celebrating. And somehow they have almost all the Chaos Emeralds, -2. And we're like, what's going on? And then you turn the page, and you get weeks ago. So now we're going back in time a bit to catch us up. I have a feeling we're not going to catch up to this point in time until probably 2 or 3 issues from now. Maybe even 4.
This one is just the evil plot.
Yeah, like the plot, yeah. This is the setup. Dr. Eggman and Dr. Wily somehow, through cross dimensions, are able to find each other, so to speak. And both of them have the same goal. They want to collect the Chaos Emeralds, they want to put an end to Sonic, they want to put an end to Mega Man, and they want to...
I like how they called Skull Egg Zone and just argued. I like that. That was fun.
Oh, they argued, but they always came to an agreement. When it came to the zone, they called it the Skull Egg Zone. And then when they created the machine that would change time, they decided to call it the Wily Egg. And for those of you that are interested, though, there is a bullet mark. If you wanted to see what the Wily Egg did, like, I believe the effects... it says here, see Sonic the Hedgehog 247 and Mega Man 23.
Well,
that's basically like what happened when they did that Genesis crossover with Mega Man.
I was just going to say that.
The issue before Genesis started, there was a big flash of white at the very end of the comic. And it's like, what happened? And you had to read Genesis to find out. Basically, I guess that's what happened in the Worlds Collide. Those last 2 issues, things flashed, things changed, and the worlds combined. And then we get Tails. And it turns out that Wily and Professor Eggman are turning all of Sonic's allies, both of them are doctors,
we said Professor,
into robots. And they're calling them, for example, Tailsman. I'm not joking here, Tailsman. So basically, Sonic and Mega Man are so busy with each other that they're not around to notice the Chaos Emeralds are being taken behind their back. Their friends are slowly becoming robot. Well, in Sonic's universe anyway, his friends are all becoming robots. I don't understand how they caught Shadow though.
Neither do I, because Shadow's like, he could just use chaos control and...
They better be careful. They called Shadow Shadow Man. Somebody better get Valiant on the phone. Anyway, this was a really awesome issue, and I'm looking forward to issue 2. They are advertising, however, for part 4, which is the 25th issue of Mega Man. Looks like it's going to be a huge cover. Looks really awesome. It's going to be a huge fold-open cover. It's going to be coming out in May. Really awesome. And there's lots of advertisements in here if you want to buy the books in bulk or stuff. I believe in the very beginning they have a deal where you can get all the books. Yeah, I was showing Michael that. And there is a checklist. Here's the checklist for all the books. You can pause the video and mark it down, but I don't see why you'd need to. It's basically going through the 2 Sonic books plus Mega Man. Really awesome. Looking forward to the next issue. This was a fun read, and if you are a fan of Sonic and or Mega Man, definitely something you want to check out. However, I guess we're all more fans of Sonic, because I thought Kevin would at least know a little bit about Mega Man, but apparently I was wrong. So
the next one's going to be in Sonic Universe, I think issue 51.
Which is coming out next week. So we're getting part 2 a week after part 1, and then there's going to be a break until Sonic the Hedgehog comes out.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Color Classics, Leonardo one-shot. This book was really great. Well, excellent,
Ultimate Collection is coming out this Wednesday, Volume 4. Wanted to make mention of that.
Yes. So in this story, talks about Leonardo, one of the Ninja Turtles, and he is fighting the Foot Clan as the Turtles and April Master Splinter are doing their second Christmas, quote unquote. And this book just jumps back and forth where Leonardo's fighting the Foot Clan and goes back to where the Turtles are, doing the house. Basically, this was my easy read because it took me 5 minutes.
This is hardly any dialogue. It's mostly action.
It's just like this on most of the pages. And there is a certain someone that makes his return.
Yeah, Shredder.
I didn't want to spoil it, but yeah.
This book came out in the 1980s.
Well, for those who didn't.
And this actually, you remember in the movies?
Yeah.
That actually happened in the movies. You can show up the last page.
Yes. And it's to be continued in TMNT number 10. So
Which is going to be the Color Classics number 10.
Yep. And yeah. Really excellent. I love the story. The artwork was great. And if you guys haven't been reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you absolutely should. My second favorite turtle, because first is Michelangelo,
My first favorite turtle is Leonardo. Second favorite's Michelangelo.
So that makes us opposite. But yeah, and that's all I have for this week, guys. So
now we're going into DC Comics, a comic I normally don't buy. Suicide Squad issue 19. What's the big reveal with the gatefold cover? Well, it turns out in the very end of the issue, the unknown soldier shows up. And once again, Deadshot is shot. I remember reading this series way back when it first came out, and I believe around the issue where I dropped, Deadspot was shot. So, again, Deadspot is shot again. Really? However, I will say there is some development that I like. Amanda Waller disables the bombs that they all have, and basically she wants them to go with her. It's not an actual, how did she put it? It's not a business mission, it's more of a personal mission. And she says, basically, this is my payment to you in advance for helping. And I love how King Shark says, and if we don't want to come, well, then I'll hunt you down, every one of you, and I'll kill you myself. So they decide to go with her. And things don't go so well, and in the end, basically, Deadshot wants to leave, and then enters the unknown soldier. And yeah, he basically takes over the team and shoots Deadspot again. Will I be coming back for the next issue? I don't think so. I'm not really into Suicide Squad too much, and there are other DC comic books that I'm still planning on giving a try out for the issue 19s. So I won't rule out Suicide Squad. However, it's at the moment it's at the bottom of my newer books, the new books that I'm reading. What do you call it? To get again list, so to speak, or the revisiting books for the issue 20s. So far, I am getting Earth 2's continuation. I will be getting Batwing's continuation. It's been confirmed I am getting Batwing. And there's a lot of other books still. So, for now, I liked it enough to say it's on the list, but it's not at the very top of the list. It's more along the lines of towards the bottom. But once again, if there's room for it, why not? So, it's a definite... I would definitely say to check it out if you want to see a new leader come up for the Suicide Squad, and it would be actually an interesting jumping on point because now a lot of the old stuff is over. A lot of these issue 19s are kind of like these issue 19s, these gatefold covers for the most part. It seems like it's putting an end to the first year of the books, and it's now going into the next stage. Like stage 1's over. The new, like it's the new 52 issue 1. From issue 1 to 19, it seems like this happened, even though there were several story arcs in certain books. Now the issue 19s are moving forward into phase 2. And the phase 2 looked really interesting so far for a lot of these books. So they're moving into the next stage. Next we have Green Lantern Corps issue 19. And Green Lantern Corps issue 19 is basically, we should call this the Mogo inspirational talk, because that's what happens. Mogo jumps in and saves all the Green Lanterns from Volthoom, and actually he gives them sort of a pep talk, kind of a hard pep talk, definitely a hard pep talk, but in the end it's like, you know, I wanted to rejuvenate your will, you are at your lowest, all of you, and now I gave you back, I allowed you to regain the will to live, the will to fight, the will to prevail. Embrace this reaffirmation and who you are and why each of you was chosen to wear a ring. Be your destiny. And then that's when the whole quote happens. That's a gist of this whole book. Mogo is a freaking awesome Green Lantern. And I hope when all is said and done, because I know a lot of the Green Lanterns will be leaving, I hope Mogo is not one of the Lanterns that leaves. Because this is freaking awesome. And you know what I like? We haven't seen the Guardians. Where are the Guardians? I don't care.
Yeah.
And of course it says to be continued and concluded in Green Lantern 20. So obviously I'm guessing Green Lantern Corps 20, as well as New Guardians, as well as Red Lanterns, will be the prologue to the Wrath of the First Lantern. Because this is all leading up to the big finale in Green Lantern 20, and I believe that's going to be a double-sized issue, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. We'll find out next month, but this is definitely good. At least it's better than the What If stories
in stereo.
So Mogo made this entire book worth reading. Next, Batman and Robin issue 19. Batman is definitely going down a different phase in his life and his new 52. And the big gatefold cover was Carrie Kelly. And before anybody gets their hopes up and like, oh my god, Carrie Kelly's gonna be Robin. No, she's not. Remember, we've already been through this. The new Robin was introduced in Batman last month. You remember. I don't have to say her name. You remember. You remember. She just shows up at a costume party wearing a Robin costume. And it turns out that Robin, or Damian, was going to this school and she was tutoring him, and Bruce didn't know about it, and he wanted to know about it. And also, yeah, the dark path I'm talking about, basically Batman is looking to resurrect his son, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. And even if that means taking, and I'm really, yeah, even if that means taking Frankenstein, Agent of Shade apart to figure out how he was reanimated. Also, it was confirmed in this book, finally, where was it? It was, no, there was something that Batman mentioned that I was questioning for a while. Come on. Jeez, why would I really gotta start bookmarking this. If I can't find it in the next couple of turns, then,
I mean, it's amazing how they're using Frankenstein.
Yeah, basically Batman confirmed about his death and Superman's death. So apparently Superman did still die in the New 52. A lot of people were questioning it with Doomsday and stuff. So apparently, somewhere along the lines, it did happen. So, oh, here we go. I was dead, Superman was dead. Does he look dead to you? I'll find a way to bring back bring Robin back. So turn around and go home, because it turns out that Alfred was worrying about Bruce and what was going on, and he sent somebody to help out, and basically that's Red Robin. And Red Robin tries to help the situation, except doesn't work out that way. Batman ain't too happy when Red Robin destroys everything. Basically, he destroyed all of Batman's research, saying there's no way to bring Damian back, and Batman just flies off, and that's it. And he leaves Red Robin with a completely dismantled Frankenstein, and now it's up to Red Robin to put him back. And yeah, so, and then the last part I'll leave up to you, for you guys to read when you read this book. But basically, this was more along the lines of Bruce. This book, as I told you guys, from what I was seeing with the other covers, this is going to be Bruce trying to find a way to bring Damian back to life. They mention a Lazarus pit in the future. A lot's going to go on in this book. And Red Robin's appearance was, even though it was short, it was part of this book. But the whole point of this book is Batman's going to be trying to find a way to bring Damian back, like I predicted for the Batman and Robin books. How long will this last before it gets old? I would say about a good 6 to 7 issues. After that, I don't know. I don't know how far further I would be willing to. I don't know. You think? But basically, this is the next story arc. So we'll see how long it takes, or how far Batman's willing to go to bring his son back before he either gives up or actually succeeds. That's the question I have. Will Batman give up and realize he can't bring Damian back, or will he succeed and Damian comes back to life? There actually is a flashback, not in this book, but in Batman issue 19. And the big gatefold cover that everybody is wondering about. It turns out one of Batman's foes is back. And he has a new type of a power, or he's able to do a lot more with what he used to do. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys in this issue, at least. Maybe on the live show we'll talk about it, so if you want to see more of a spoiler for that, check out the live show or the in-depth comic review on Dark Avenger Inc. One thing I will say, though, is Bruce Wayne, the whole issue starts off with Bruce Wayne robbing a bank, and Commissioner Gordon kind of trying to stop him. And Commissioner Gordon also does make mention of the 0 year, which is coming very soon to the Batman comics after this story arc. And he tries to stop Bruce. He shoots Bruce. Bruce shoots him. And let's just say that Commissioner Gordon gets to see Bruce without his shirt fully closed.
Let me see. Oh.
Yeah. And that's it. And then we go 6 days ago, and it's Batman fighting the Grim Reaper, and it turns out that Damian is still alive or maybe he's having a flashback, because it doesn't say any days later after that. And it's him and Damian, and he's in the from the last issue, you guys remember, he was in the trophy room with what is it called, the Cowl Archives. And we all remember what he did with Damian's clothes. And turns out one of the people he worked with, what was his name? Basically, Alfred wants to make sure that Bruce is going to be okay, because the last time when Jason died, he kind of went to a dark place. And why am I not getting? I'll just go forward a bit. Brian Wade, apparently somebody he had worked with, had died, and then they were claiming suicide, that he had committed suicide, and that's what sparks Batman. He's like, suicide? He was dying and he was cured. Why would he commit suicide? So Batman goes on the not on the hunt, but he goes on the search for answers, and we find out who's behind it all. And that person, that villain from Batman's Rogue Gallery, attacks Bruce Wayne. Not Batman, Bruce Wayne, at the end of the issue. Who is it? You'll have to check out the in-depth review either on Dark Avenger Inc. or we'll be talking about it probably on
The live show.
The live show. I would say it's me that's going to be reviewing Batman 19, but I did not I did not set my books up this week yet, so I don't know if somebody has it. But if they don't, I'll be doing the in-depth review of Batman, absolutely. Unless it was done already.
Maybe.
I don't know. While we're shooting this, I have not been on... I believe it was done on Dark Avenger now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, you can check, you know.
Check out Dark Avenger for the in-depth review if you want to know who this villain is. I love how I just screw myself up. Anyway, then you get the backup story, and it's a team-up. Superman and Batman. Possibly setting us up for something coming in June.
That'll be something.
And we get to see Superman versus magic, and things don't go so well. People are disappearing that are going into this building, and it could be this thing's fault. To be continued. Lots of dialogue, lots of talking. Superman actually shows up because he knows about about Damian's death. Sorry, there's something in the back of my book. And he wants to make sure that Bruce is okay, and Bruce is like, I'm fine. And thus the Superman-Batman team-up begins. And to be continued in Batman 20 and concluded. Really awesome book. My favorite book this week next to Green Lantern Corps from DC Comics. Really good stuff. Definitely check out Batman 19 and check out the in-depth review from whoever does it on Dark Avenger Inc. I know that I probably missed it. I have not been watching videos this entire weekend plus the end of the week. I have been swamped with work, and if I was watching, it was through my iPod listening while I was doing other stuff. Just a crazy week last week. We're now in Marvel, Avengers number 9. I don't know why I continue to abuse myself. This is the last book. This is it. The end. This is the end of the story arc even. I'm done. I'm sorry. I always say if I have extra money, I'm going to pick up the Avengers. Even if I have extra money this time, I think I'm going to try out a different book. As much as I would like to really try to get into this book, the more I read it, the more I'm just not turned off by it. I'm just not interested. Neil, however you pronounce his name, his plan is revealed, and the Avengers go after Nightshade and Starbrand again, and they banish them away from Earth because the Earth will be safer without them. There's some nice artwork by Mike Deodato, but for the most part, just in the end, when all is said and done, I'm just not interested. Next issue, oh no, Canada is what they say, and yeah, no. I think I'm definitely done now. I think I'm done with the Avenger book for now. Maybe in future story arcs I'll come back, but for right now, for right this very second, for a while, I think this is the last Avenger book I will be reading. Just not into these stories. I'm not into where this is going. All these books from now until Marvel Infinity are leading into Marvel Infinity, and I don't even know if I'm going to be getting Marvel Infinity. I think this year is the year where I'm going to hold off on any Marvel event in single issue form. I've heard a lot of people talking that the Age of Ultron is very boring right now, and I was going to wait and see if it really was good. I was going to pick it up in trade paperback form, but from what I'm hearing from everybody, it's not exactly that exciting. So yeah, I'm glad I decided to do that, because now I know I don't have to bother picking up the trade paperback. I just won't bother with it. So, Thor God of Thunder, issue number 7. Thor of the present is in the future, and Thor of the future explains to Thor everything that goes on, kind of spoils his future a little bit. Talks about how Thor is part of Guardians of the Galaxy. He becomes a god police officer that lives on the sun. A bunch of things, and basically he explains what's going on with Gore, and they basically mount up to go after him and put an end to him once and for all. However, Gore jumps into back in time and abducts Thor from the past, so now the young Thor, the past Thor, is in the future, just not with future Thor and present Thor. Stay with me on this. So, future and present Thor go after Gore. Gore enslaves after torturing young Thor, and we find out that the person that he had in the cave with him, his name was Shadrach, God of Bombs. Thus, the whole point of the word, the series, God Bomb. It's not confusing at all, actually.
Like,
instead of killing, basically, Shadrach, what he did was, he helped Gore learn how to make a specific bomb. Instead of tearing through the gods one by one, this God bomb is going to eliminate all the gods in all existence in one foul swoop, instead of him having to do it one at a time. So I guess it's going to be up to the 3 Thors to put an end to the God bomb once and for all. That's the long and short of it. There's lots of dialogue in here. You may want to read this book. It's really good. However, once again, do not jump into Thor on this issue. If you want to jump onto Thor now, go 6 issues back, or I believe they released the first trade paperback, or will be releasing the first trade paperback of the first 6 issues of Thor, maybe the first 5, and you'll have to get 6 in this. Read from issue 1. This story arc is continuing from the first story arc. It's just the next chapter in the story arc. I believe after God Bomb, though, that's it, and we're going to move forward from there. I believe. I can't speak for if we're going to move forward yet, because God Bomb Part 5 is coming out in August, and we do not have the August solicitations yet. So we need the September solicitations, to be honest, to confirm that it's going to go into a different story finally. But it's still good. Artwork, there are moments where the facial expressions are hilarious, but in all in all, really good. Definitely something you'll want to check out. And I have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. There is no way I'm going to be able to get into the next book, so why don't we go to our commercial break, and we will be back after these messages, and we will conclude this week in comic books and this week in Marvel. So see you guys in a few moments. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. See you guys then. Big Bad Toy Store, the #1 source for all your figure and toy buying needs and more. They accept all major credit cards and PayPal with no money down until your order leaves the warehouse. Click the link in the description below to start your shopping experience today. Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Dark Avenger Comic Book review. We are now going into Uncanny Avengers #6. I have this right after Thor, because after reading Uncanny Avengers #6, I felt like I was reading another Thor book. This book takes place, I'm going to give you the exact date now, in 1013 AD in Scandinavia. So for those of you that are going to be reading this book expecting to see these people, no, you're not going to see these people. No, you're not. This is all about Thor's first encounter with Apocalypse, and how the decisions he made as a young, brash person will come back to haunt the Avengers in the present. Apparently what he did in the past is going to ramificate things that are going to happen really soon, I'm guessing, in the Uncanny Avengers in the present. Turns out, though, Krang, from the last issue we saw Kang. I call him Krang again? I really did. Kang! I gotta stop that.
You're thinking of the turtle.
Yes! Kang, in the guise of Loki, manipulates Thor in the past, and I believe this is what's going to cause the change in the future, and helps aid Thor take out Apocalypse. However, in the middle of the book, Thor goes to Odin for help to stop Apocalypse, and Odin actually tells him, abandon your revenge, this is not, I will not aid in this, winning this fight today would create a far greater catastrophe in the future, let it go, let your vengeance go. So Thor, with Kang's aid, although thinking it was Loki's aid, takes out Apocalypse, but at what cost? So, back at Asgard, Thor is celebrating, and he took out Apocalypse. Bursts in Odin, saying, "You great fool! The axe is a curse, a wrecker of worlds. It will remain your burden to bear it. I cannot help you now. The lesson is yours to learn. And do not misinterpret your motives to me, Thunder God. You cared only for revenge, and you have doomed all to have it. Be it tomorrow or 1,000 years from now, the mistakes you've made this day will haunt us all. And you have Kang in the present showing up and picking up Thor's axe, Bjorn. Forget it. The axe. So Kang has the axe in the present now also. What could this mean? I guess we'll have to wait and find out in the next issue. This was a fun read. It focused mostly on Thor. There was a cameo, however, by Logan.
Oh.
Apparently. And there was actually a funny quote, I have to say it now that I mentioned that Logan was in it in the past, before he became Wolverine. And I love how it's like, Folkburn Logan, you are the finest there is at what you choose to do, but what you do be not very kind. I like that olden way of saying, I'm the best at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice. Really good. I'm glad I jumped back on Uncanny Avengers. It's a really good book. Definitely something you guys should check out. And speaking of Logan, let's talk about Wolverine issue 2. As we all predicted, or at least I predicted, it was mind control. The boy was under mind control, and Wolverine did save him, so to speak. However, it was a long, tedious saving, so to speak. And whatever is controlling or mind controlling through the gun is taking a very huge interest in Wolverine. And Wolverine is definitely going to find a way to stop this. But he is going to have a wee bit of aid from Nick Fury Jr., or as he would like to be called, Nick Fury. And what makes this book even more important, I feel, is the last page. And I will spoil this. And even Logan knows it. He's like, oh, okay now. Now I know we're in trouble. The Watcher shows up.
Wow.
And whenever the Watcher shows up,
something
big is gonna happen.
Oh man.
So yeah, for those of you that haven't been reading Wolverine, you may want to jump in on this one.
With the Watcher in it?
Because when the Watcher shows up, something huge is gonna happen. So the major stuff is definitely going on in Wolverine. However, I am still loving Frank Cho's Savage Wolverine, and I'm hoping that when we move forward into the next story arc, when Frank Cho leaves the book, that I'll still be enjoying Savage Wolverine. Wolverine, definite awesome read, definitely something to check out also. I'm a bit upset at Uncanny XMen number 4, however. I'm not upset at the story, not at all. As a matter of fact, it's exactly what happened in the all-new X-Men on Cyclops' in Cyclops' team's point of view. Basically, everything you read in the all-new X-Men happens here. However, we have a moment where Emma Frost is brought into her own mind by the cuckoo, so to speak, and they find out about her powers and everything. While at the new Xavier school, you have the students getting used to and messing around in the new place without the teachers or the original X-Men there to watch them, make sure they don't get into trouble, which they obviously do, sort of. And yeah, they somehow turn on the danger room, and actually they show back up with the kids being attacked by all these holograms, and they turn it off, and they're like, yeah, you guys definitely you can't mess around when we're not around. And apparently something's going on with Magic. So Magic isn't so all-powerful. Apparently something's going on with her. And we're going to probably find out about what that is in future issues. However, this is the part that's annoyed me the most, and I won't spoil it for you guys. The last page of this book ruins the surprise for the next all-new X-Men book. For those of you that read All New X-Men last week, one of the X-Men from the past made the decision to go with Cyclops and his team. And it was a huge way to end the book, because like, you don't know which X-Men is going to be the one that jumps ship, that goes to Cyclops' side. And we all have our predictions, or had our predictions. And unfortunately, the last page of this book ruins the surprise of which X-Man is the one that jumps ship. The very last page shows the Cuckoos and which of the all-new X-Men, which of the X-Men from the past chooses to go to Cyclops' team. In my opinion, it ruins it because the shock factor at the very beginning of the all-new X-Men book now is nil, because I won't be shocked anymore. I know exactly who the person is that jumps, that decides to go with Cyclops. And it ruins it because it was like the person was just there for one shot, and Cyclops was like, this is from the past, and this person wants to continue his fight as an X-Man with us, because because they know we're right.
If that makes any.
And that's it.
Yeah.
The person doesn't even talk in this issue, so I'm kind of let down a bit. I wish they would have kind of like shaded the person or shadowed the person and said, read the next issue of the all new. Yeah, shadow them so you don't know who it is, and just say, find out who from the old X-Men decided to join Cyclops in all new X-Men issue number, I believe it was 11. So nobody who's read this is shocked anymore about who jumped ship. For those of you that haven't read Uncanny X-Men yet and have been reading all new X-Men, take this book and put it on the side and read this book after you read the next issue of all new X-Men if you want to be surprised about who jumps to Cyclops' side. If not, then go ahead and read this book. But I'm kind of disappointed that all new X-Men built it up so much that you're like, oh, who's going to be the one? And then this book a week later, with one final splash page, ruins it. Okay. Fantastic Four issue number 6. The Fantastic Four go back in time to see the Big Bang.
Uh-oh, is that what dinosaurs and all that stuff?
No, the Big Bang. The creation of all things.
Oh, that one. Oh, I thought you meant about...
That's the end of the... I'm not even going...
Well, that's the end of dinosaurs and all that.
That was the comet that hit Earth. Earth doesn't even exist here.
Oh, okay.
So they go back and they're at the beginning of time, the beginning of all creations. However, they find this strange thing floating around. And if you read the very beginning of the issue, it turns out somebody is being banned to the beginning of time to experience the Big Bang and then to be destroyed by it. So of course the Fantastic Four, being the awesome people they are, they decide that it's a cruel way to kill somebody, and it's up to them. They have to save this person. I love how one of them says, where was it? Well, it's not anything good, or at least if it is, we should leave it alone and trust it's got itself into this mess, and if it's bad, it's got put there for a reason, which is true. And spoiler alert here, it turns out it's a previous enemy of the Fantastic Four, Balsar. And he was banished to the beginning of time to watch it happen and then to be destroyed by it. We get more of a look, actually, before all this, where something's going on with Ben Grimm, but apparently he has something going on with him where his eyes glow. We don't know what's going on with him, and the rocks turn back into, for those of you that read the Fear Itself, he's starting to look like his Fear Itself form again a bit, without the fish on him, though, the suction cup, the squid, that was it. So something's going on with Ben, and we don't know yet. But Balsar is destroying the ship, and the kids are trying to figure out how they're gonna stop him, how they're gonna get him off the ship. And Franklin, I remember mentioning this when I reviewed the last issue. Franklin, before the renumbering, he was this all-powerful kid. He has all these great powers, and the parents were afraid of him using the powers. They're like, don't do it no matter what unless you have to. Finally, 6 issues in, it gets addressed again, and Franklin's like, maybe I could use my powers and push us through time and leave Balsar behind. And they're like, no, this is no good. It's too much. Your power is so great, and that idea is so big. And then he interrupts them and says, but if we don't, we die, and he dies, right? That's unacceptable. You guys taught me that. Uncle Ben, hold on, and boom, they're gone. Balsar's left at the wake of time, and yeah.
They use Uncle Ben like as a reference for all the stuffs like.
Well, Ben Grimm is technically his uncle. They're all family. They're the first.
I know, but there was another comic book that.
Yeah. I make mention of this because it doesn't look too good in the next issue for the Fantastic Four. Balsar must have really destroyed that ship, something awful. Well, we'll find out next time. I'm definitely going to be around for the next issue. This is really good. First time in a long time I actually can say I've read a Fantastic Four book and enjoyed it. No offense to the previous writer for Fantastic Four, but Matt Fraction just does it really well. So I'm really enjoying Fantastic Four, and I can't wait for the next issue, and I definitely recommend you guys to check it out. Finally this week, we have Hawkeye issue 9. Hawkeye gets visited by his ex-wife, his girlfriend, or now possibly ex-girlfriend, and Black Widow.
Wow, 3 girls for the price of 1, giggity.
And also Kate does make an appearance. So 4 girls, really. This book jumps back and forth through time, so to speak. It starts off with Black Widow chasing down the red-haired girl, and we find out who the red-haired girl is, and her name is Darlene Penelope Wright, and it's her fault that all this is happening to Hawkeye. She gets on a bus and leaves, and Black Widow's just left saying, Clint Barton, what have you been up to? And then you get the visit from Bobby, the ex-wife of Hawkeye, and basically she's there to finish signing to sign the divorce papers. However, she steps out for a bit, and the bros are there, and she takes out the bros. But it's so funny because it's like, another one, seriously? And you're like, wait, what? And you find out what they mean in a moment. So Bobby takes them out, the divorce papers are signed, the end. Then we go back in time, and it turns out Black Widow, Jessica, Spider-Woman, and Bobby are all in Kate's apartment trying to figure out what's going on, and Kate gives them the lowdown of everything that's gone on with Hawkeye from issue 1 to now. And they're all looking to go see Hawkeye. First, Kate shows up, and she beats the bros up for the first time. And she tries to beat out the women, but unfortunately Spider-Woman gets there before her. There's a slap fest, and it looks like they're basically done. And she actually warns Kate to stay away from him. And we saw Bobby, and we all know Black Widow doesn't visit Clint. She goes to find out data and talk and get the info from the red-haired woman. Kate actually tries to give Hawkeye a pep talk, but things don't look good. And the last 2 pages I'm going to leave for you guys. You got to read this book, but Hawkeye's talking over with one of the tenants, Gil, about what's been going on and how he's still in love with Jessica. And he's like, why don't you write her a letter or something, you know, explain how you really feel just the way you told me. And he's like, yeah. And then the last page, it makes me mad, the last page, because, you know, you read this book for a while and you really invest, and you really, I don't want to say fall in love, but you really grow an attachment to certain characters, and to see what happens in the last page to a certain character, especially after issue 7 where Hawkeye saved him and his dad, to see certain things happen, yeah, you kind of get a little upset, and I leave the last page up to you guys. But somebody is going after Hawkeye, and he's looking to hurt Hawkeye in any way possible before actually killing Hawkeye. And yeah, I'm not too happy with the end of this book, but at the same time,
you're gonna bang the book on the table. I'm done.
This was an awesome book. Once again, Matt Fraction. Artwork is great. Definitely something you guys should be checking out. This is my book of the week from Marvel, and my book of the week in general. I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely highly recommend you guys should be checking out Hawkeye each and every time it comes out, unless you trade paperback in the series. But this is definitely a series you want to check out. It's in the Marvel Now format, so it ain't going nowhere. And it's really good. Something definitely to read. Never thought I'd be interested in a Hawkeye book.
Yeah,
but
99.
but it worked. And that's it for this week, guys. That's all the books.
So this is the part where I have to get up, right?
Right.
And go behind the camera.
Right.
And then, yeah.
The whole thing is right.
Later, guys, yeah.
Everything is right. Right. And as always, guys, once Mike releases the camera, don't forget to check out comicrelated.com for all your comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. I post stuff on there a lot, and it's just an awesome website and definitely a place you guys definitely should check out. Also, don't forget to check out darkavengerink.com, where we like to give you guys a couple of videos each and every day. So when you go on the channel, or I was going to say go on the website, but for now it links you straight to our YouTube channel. So whenever you go on the channel, you have something new to watch. And if you are on YouTube, don't forget to click the sub button so we'll be in your feed. And whenever you go into your subscription box, all our videos will be there and you won't miss out on a thing. If you're not subscribed to this channel, I do weekly comic reviews. We have a Comic Point 3 show that we do every weekend. Me, myself, my brother, and our friend Kevin. And there's a few other reviews I do here, there, and everywhere, and unboxings every Friday. If you enjoy what you see, definitely click the sub button so I'll be in your feed and you won't miss out on a single video that I do. And with that, that's it, guys. Take care. Oh, woo!
Ooh. I was going to remind you anyway, but you...
Wow, I went into saying don't forget to check out Comic Related before I... Oh, that's why you were giving me the look like what?
I was like, what are you doing? Let's just give it a rundown now.
Hawkeye, issue 9. Awesome. Definitely check it out. Fantastic Four, issue 6. Really good. Definitely worth a check out. Uncanny XMen number 4. Worth a check out. Definitely. Don't read it until you read the next issue of All New X-Men. Unless you've read it already. Then you know who the X-Men is that jump ship. Wolverine number 2. Really good. The Watcher's there, so something big's going to be going on. Uncanny XMen number 6. An enjoyable read. It is a Thor focus book, but a really good Thor story. Thor God of Thunder issue number 7 continues the story arc from issue 1. However, it is picking up. I thought it was going to get boring, but it's actually picking up, and I'm really liking it. Avengers number 9, I'm done. I know a lot of people are still enjoying the Avengers. I love Mike Deodato's artwork, but that can't save me. Save this book for me. I'm done. Batman 19 was awesome. Definitely something to check out. Batman and Red Robin. It's not Batman and Robin anymore. It's Batman and whoever. So Batman and Red Robin issue 19. Really good. Batman's going a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but definitely something to check out. Green Lantern Corps issue 19, Mogo is awesome. Definitely something to read. Suicide Squad, book I haven't read in a while. Piqued my interest, however it goes to the bottom of my list because I still have a lot of other books that I haven't read in a while or haven't read at all yet that I'm going to give a shot with the gatefold covers to. But it's on the list of probably picking it up. Maybe I dropped the Avengers, so maybe I'll grab it then. Leonardo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Color Classics, One Shot.
Excellent issue. Shredder returns. Can't wait for the next issue.
And finally, Mega Man issue 24, the first part to Worlds Collide. Awesome read if you are a Sonic and Mega Man fan. It is definitely something you don't want to miss out on. Don't forget to check out comicrelated.com for comic-related news reviews and a whole bunch more. DarkAvengerInc.com. We got lots of videos on there. Don't forget to sub there. Don't forget to sub to this channel if you enjoy what you see here. Ha! I still did
you
I know. That was a speed-up version. See, I talked about everything I said before I did the...
And you didn't mess up when you did the speed-up. There you go.
I didn't mess up. See, I should do it faster. That's why I don't screw up. Have a good week, everybody, and I will see you guys really soon in another video. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.